Welcome back to Airheadz Radio Adventures. I'm Jason, and I'm solo today. Just got finished edging the driveway and side of the house and almost died. It's Florida. Thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you something I just bought. This is not what I just bought. This is the TennTennas EFHW half wave Walt over on eBay. He calls this the low power version. 80 watt single sideband, 50 CW, 35 digital. It's got an FT140-43 toroid mix. This was at the old QTH, had it about 30 feet up in a tree, terminating. The box was sloped down about 3 feet off the ground. Never used the counterpoise on it. I started it with 25, sorry about the dogs. Started with 25 feet of RG8X and got a little bit of common mode back to the shack. I would flip my phone through some open apps and things, and I extended that to 50 feet of RG8X, and it seemed to work great. Never had any issues with it. Made a whole heap of contacts in the year I've had it. Notice I did lose the wing nut on the counterpoise side. We've upgraded radios, and the new addition is the high power version. This is a FT240-43 toroid. It says it's good for 100 watts plus. This is going to go great with the 7300 that I'm still figuring out. Notice it still does have the wing nut for the counterpoise, and you'll notice it has an SO239 as compared to the BNC adapter, so that's one less link in the chain. What we're going to do today is get this thing up in the air. I'm in a smaller backyard, so I'm definitely going to be compromised. I'm going to have to put it up a pole and slope down and then run along a fence line, I think, for the length of the thing. I've got 67 feet or so of BNTechGo 20 gauge wire. Great stuff, real smooth, doesn't kink, doesn't knot. We're going to throw all that in the air. We're going to plug it in to the Nano VNA, and we're going to do two things. I'm going to run that 50 feet of RG8X coax, snake it around the yard a little bit and see how it tunes. And then I'm going to try something a little bit different. I also got a 1-to-1 common mode choke, and we're going to plug that in on the feed line side and run a counterpoise and see if that works any better, any worse. I don't know, we'll find out, we'll let you know. Of course, links to all this stuff will be down in the description. We're an affiliate with Amazon, so you know, the Nano VNA is down there, all that good stuff's down there. TennTennas only runs off of eBay, but I'm going to include it because I firmly believe in this antenna, and I'm hoping this one surprises me as much as the first one did and how fantastic it works. We'll be right back. Okay, there it is, all ready to test. And then I remembered that the coax is in Katie's car from the trip to the beach on the last video. So we'll see you in several hours maybe when she gets home. All right, Katie's home, so we'll get the coax now. I did pick up this nice case for the new antenna. It's 67 feet of wire, 67 plus a little bit. So we're gonna go string that up in the air and we'll Nano VNA it, see if we can get it tuned. Got a little insulator we'll throw on the ends. See you in a minute. All right, here we are. Got it lashed up to this planter box. This Goture fishing pole, I believe, is 17 feet. I did take the top two sections out. So see the wire running vertical, coming up to here, taking a turn, and we're just kind of sloping down to that fence line over there, and it's run along the fence. I'll show you. All right, pole won't let it get too tight without just coming down, but it's coming down here to this fence post, run along here, and just hanging out for now. Let's go analyze. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is put in our frequencies. I want to go to mark. No, we don't want to go to marker. We want to go to stimulus. Start frequency, let's call it 7 megahertz. Our stop frequency, we're going to call it 28 megahertz. And you'll see those numbers down at the bottom. So that's the span that's going to show on the scope. Now we need to calibrate. So I'm going to get the open calibrating doohickey, and we're going to go to calibrate, hit the open, and that's done. Now we'll do the short, which is just a short circuit. You'll see it doing some funky things when you're screwing everything in. Do the short, and now one last one, we're going to put the 50 ohm load on. And hit load. And that's done. Hit the done button. You can save it here if you want. We'll save it as 0. And now let's get the antenna on. Here you see I just have a SMA adapter under the end of our 50-foot round of our G8X. And this is what we're looking at. So this little doodly wheel up here, we can scroll through till you see the markers. And let's go left. You see where that first big dip is. Right now it's resonant at 13.5. So we need to cut. And just for grams, let's go up to here. The next resonant point is at 20. And the next one's way up here at 28. So hey, we're pretty close down here. You can see that up at the top. That's a 1.15 to 1 SWR. We're gonna need to shift this over, but that's 101. All right, so we've got some adjusting to do. Okay, after about 5 trips to trim a wire, this is what we're looking at. And honestly, I took probably 2.5 feet off. So 40 meter band down here, the frequency is up at the top right. So it's around 7.2. And keep in mind, this scale goes up to 3. The top of the screen is a 3 to 1. So you see the SWR in the top, right up at the top there is 1.5 on 40. I expected a little lower. I'm not really trusting my connectors and things. Might have some other things going on. Who knows? So I'm not going to mess with it anymore. And we come up here to the 20 meter band. There's 14,160 where it's resonant at. So somewhere in between these two, we're looking at a 1.1 to 1. 15 meters, what are we at? General band is 21,275 to 450. So somewhere in there, we're 1 to 1, 1.2 to 1. And 10 meters, this was always really low on the smaller one, but again, didn't play with it much here, and I certainly didn't analyze it when I got here. So, you know, it's 1.3, 1.4 to 1. That's the high side of the band. Let's get back down here to, you know, 2900s, about the middle of the band. So, yeah, everything's under 1.5 to 1 for sure. So, TennTennas, man, love this antenna. I'm gonna try and get it hooked up with radio. See if I notice a difference between the two. But at least now I can run 100 watts. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Airheadz Radio Adventures.